rounding up revenue today in chapter 4. So the last lesson about revenue is revenue and price elasticity. And we know what revenue is. The receipts a firm is able to put together as a result of its sales. That is revenue. We have our total revenue, we have our average revenue, we have our marginal revenue. We talked about our total revenue, which is the total amount of receipts earned or collected by a firm over a period of time, which is price multiplied by quantity. We have our average revenue, which is our total revenue divided by the quantity sold. And we have our marginal revenue, which is the amount made in the course of selling an extra unit of output. So today, the focus is revenue and price elasticity. Now that we know revenue, what is price elasticity? Price elasticity is the degree of responsiveness between the quantity demanded of a product as a result of a change in price. So if there's a change in price, it means there's going to be responsiveness about the quantities being sold. Consumers will request more or less. So for price elasticity, it could be inelastic or elastic. But with the lesson, going through the lesson, we'll be able to know. So I read. When the price received by a firm for a good remains the same, the AR, the MR, and the demand costs for the goods are identical. They are always horizontal. This means that the price elasticity of demand for the good is perfectly elastic. Whatever the percentage change in the price of the good, there is no change in quantity demanded. So when we have our average revenue, our marginal revenue, when the price of a good is constant, that means our AR, our MR, and the demand curve will look the same. Definitely, it means that the price elasticity of demand is price elastic, perfectly elastic. And when it is perfectly elastic, it means there's no significant change in the quantity demanded of that product as a result of the change in price. So the point here is that when we have an horizontal, when we have our average revenue, our marginal revenue, and our demand curve to be horizontal, it means they are all identical. So that means no matter what the change in price is, the quantity demanded there's not going to be a significant change in the quantity demanded. That is the point I'm making, and which means that it is price elastic, perfectly elastic. However, when the price of a good falls and sales increases, there's likely to be a change in price elasticity of demand along the average revenue curve. So when the price of a good falls and sales increases, there's likely to be a change in price elasticity of demand. Yes, when the price of a good falls and sales increases, it means the demand for such product is price elastic. So definitely there's going to be a change in the elasticity of demand. It was explained that if demand was price inelastic, a rise in price would result in a rise in total spending by consumers, which is the same as an increase in total revenue for a firm or firms. So if the demand for a product is price inelastic, it means no matter what the price is, consumers will be willing to buy. The products are inevitable for consumers. As a result, the spending of consumers will increase on such products, which means it will reflect in firms' revenue. So consumer spending will increase in terms of the products, and the revenue firms make will also increase because the price has increased, the quantity sold will also increase. Or if it's not even increasing, it still remains the same. But based on the fact that the price has changed, the total revenue will also increase. So if the percentage fall in quantity demanded is less than the percentage rise in price, then total revenue will increase. The opposite is, okay, they said if the percentage rise in price, if the percentage fall in quantity demanded is less than the percentage rise in price, then the total revenue will increase. So what you are saying is this: if the percentage change in the rise in price is more than the percentage change in quantity demanded, the total revenue will still increase because it simply means that price has increased more than the quantity demanded, and as a result of that, the total revenue will increase. For example, if the price of a product is $5 and the quantity sold previously is 10 quantities, that means $50 was supposed to be made. Now, the price increases to, let's say, $6, and the quantity sold is still 10. It means it's going to be $60. So that means the total revenue would have increased, but the quantity demanded will still remain the same. So that is what they meant by total revenue increasing. Then the opposite is true. If demand is price elastic, then the percentage rise in price will result in an even larger percentage fall in quantity demanded. This will mean that there is a fall in total revenue. So if the demand for a product is price elastic, it simply means that a fall in price for such product, if the demand for a product is price elastic, a percentage rise in the price. If the demand for a product is price elastic, a rise in price for such products would lead to a significant fall in the quantity demanded of the product. As a result, the total revenue would fall. What they are saying is this: a price elastic, if the demand for a product is price elastic, it means consumers are conscious about such product. So if the product that is price elastic, a product that the demand is price elastic, could be a product that has many substitutes. So if there are many substitutes for a product, a rise in price for such products will make consumers to think about buying from competitors. As a result, the quantity sold previously by that firm that has increased its price will definitely fall. And as soon as it falls, the total revenue for such firm would fall. That is the point they are making. That's why they said the opposite is true. If demand is price elastic, if the demand for a product is price elastic, which means consumers will buy such products if the price falls. But an increase in price for such products will lead to a fall in the quantity demanded of the product. And as a result, the total revenue of such product is expected to fall. That is the point there. And they made an example about the table which we previously did. So in terms of marginal revenue, demand is price elastic. So long as marginal revenue is positive, it's in essence, total revenue is increasing. So if the demand for a product is price elastic and the marginal revenue is positive, that means we're going to have an increase in our total revenue. That is the point here. Put it in mind again. If the demand for a product is price elastic and we are having a positive marginal revenue, it means that the total revenue for such product would have increased. When marginal revenue is negative, demand is price inelastic. So for negative marginal revenue, if we are having a negative marginal revenue, it means the demand for such product is price inelastic. So that means our total revenue would fall. So the average revenue curve is also the demand curve for the goods. So the top half of the curve is, okay, we talked about that earlier. So price elasticity of demand is 1 or unitary when total revenue is maximized. So when we have our total revenue being maximized, it means our price elasticity of demand is 1 or unitary. So this is when marginal revenue is 0 at an output between 5 and 6. So when we have our price elasticity of demand to be unitary, it means our marginal revenue is 0. So that's all about revenue and price elasticity. So we have to put in mind that if the demand for a product is price elastic, an increase in price for such product will lead to a fall in the total revenue. And if the demand of a product is price inelastic, a fall in price or an increase in price would not significantly change the quantity demanded of such product, but it will definitely increase the total revenue. So that is the relationship between revenue and price elasticity. Thank you. That is chapter 4. Thank you.